Eric Weiner, The Geography of Genius, A Search for the World's Most Creative Places from Ancient Athens to Silicon Valley. The Geography of Genius by Eric Weiner delves into the nature of creative genius by examining the world's most creative places throughout history, such as ancient Athens, Renaissance Florence, and modern-day Silicon Valley. The book explores how various cultures and environments have fostered creativity, and how geniuses like Socrates, Michelangelo, and Steve Jobs were influenced by their surroundings. It also presents theories about what makes certain places hotspots for genius, such as the magnetic theory of genius and the fashionista theory of genius. By analyzing these historical and cultural factors, Weiner provides readers with insights into the significance of location and the conditions necessary for human creativity to flourish.
The definition of genius. Margaret Bowden's definition of creative genius is explored alongside the fashionista theory of genius and Keith Simonton's examination of genius clusters throughout history. Simonton looks to understand the role of culture in producing these clusters by looking at historical incubators such as 1900 Vienna and Renaissance Florence. The pursuit of this quest begins with the ancient Greeks, as anyone who has had a rational thought or wondered at the night sky has experienced a Greek moment. Athenian Creativity. Athens in ancient Greece was a hub of creativity, producing renowned philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. This period of Athenian innovation was during a time of peace between Persian and Peloponnesian wars. According to the magnetic theory of genius, creative places attract creative people, and Athens certainly attracted architects, sculptors, and philosophers. Creativity thrived in everyday Athenian life, where art and poetry were mainstream. Athens was open to ideas from other countries, including the alphabet from Phoenicia, mathematics from Babylonians, and medicine and sculpture from Egypt. Being challenging and difficult, places of genius provoke and demand more from us. Hangzhou, a global hub of innovation. Hangzhou, China was the epicenter of innovation during the Song dynasty. Emperor poets led the city to become a global hub of commerce, technology, and culture. Woodblock printing made literature available to the masses, and geniuses like Shenhua and Su Tungpo advanced navigation and medicine while also excelling in poetry, mathematics, and diplomacy. The city's West Lake inspired over 25,000 poems, and its citizens even invented toilet paper and mechanical clocks. Hangzhou's greatness was a result of embracing new technologies and creativity, proving that disrupting the status quo was the key to success. The Medicis, Renaissance patrons. The Renaissance in Florence, the epicenter of genius, was fueled by the backing of the powerful and wealthy Medici family. Recognizing, financing, and demanding innovation from talent worked for them, and they earned indulgences from the Roman Catholic Church. Florence's artists' workshops, bottegas, nurtured hopeful geniuses in exchange for learning the trade. Lorenzo Medici personally took Michelangelo under his wing when he spotted him sculpting in a garden at the young age of 14. Leonardo da Vinci worked in Andrea del Verrocchio's Florence Bottega, and Florence's signature landmark, the Duomo, was created by Filippo Brunelleschi, who was initially a finalist in a contest with Lorenzo Ghiberti for creating the bronze doors on the baptistry of Santa Maria del Fiore. Edinburgh's practical geniuses. Edinburgh's golden age was fueled by an unwavering desire to find a better way of doing things. The Scots showed incredible creativity and made significant contributions to a wide array of fields, including chemistry, geology, engineering, economics, and medicine. James Hutton, David Hume, and Adam Smith are just a few of the great minds whose legacy endures today. These visionaries did not shy away from intellectual challenges, they gathered in clubs where they engaged in rigorous debates and verbal sparring matches. The Scottish Enlightenment era is a testament to the power of perseverance, collaboration, and intellectual curiosity. The book reminds us that every breakthrough requires starts and stops, and that genius is not necessarily measured in how often one succeeds, but in how often they keep trying. Whether it was chloroform as an anesthetic or breakthroughs in medical science, Edinburgh was home to some of the most inventive and creative minds of their time. The story is a testament to the resilience and tenacity of human nature, and an inspiration to anyone striving to make a difference in the world. Bengal Renaissance intellectuals. The Bengal Renaissance took place between 1840 and 1920, and Calcutta was the hub of intellectual and creative activity. This era saw the establishment of Hindu College by David Hare and groundbreaking experiments on radio waves by Jagadish Bose. Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel Prize winner and prolific artist, expressed his theory of relativity to Albert Einstein. Hindus believed that genius illuminated the room rather than creating something from scratch. Vienna's musical genius cluster. Vienna in the early 1800s was a bustling international city that welcomed people from different cultures. The Vienna Genius Cluster revolved around brilliant musicians such as Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn, and Schubert, who were eager to make Vienna a cultural center that would surpass Paris and London. Kaiser Joseph II invested in music, and the city's cultural appreciation for music was woven into its fabric with open-air concerts, music halls, street organ grinders, and Italian opera. Mozart was prolific and never composed pieces without buyers. Beethoven, differentiating himself from Mozart, was a Slav who loved to carouse, while their mentor and teacher Haydn was a brilliant composer who kept to a strict schedule. These composers thrived amid audiences who appreciated their work and the works of other musicians, and Vienna endured a genius slump between Beethoven's death in 1827 and 1900, with Brahms as the exception. Genius in Paradise. Vienna in the early 1900s was a hub of intellectual activity and creativity, attracting geniuses from various fields like Gustav Klimt, Ernst Mach, Gustav Mahler, and Sigmund Freud. The city's coffeehouses, such as the iconic Café Sperl, became idea incubators, where intellectuals would walk along the newly constructed Ringstrasse Boulevard and exchange ideas. Freud, an outsider both because of his religion and revolutionary ideas, frequented the boulevard and used his knowledge of archaeology to develop his psychological theories. The Wednesday Circle, a gathering of physicians, provided Freud with critical support as he pioneered the field of psychoanalysis. Like other geniuses, Freud failed often and used this as a way to obtain critical information. The constraints and marginalization experienced by many geniuses drive their creativity, contributing ultimately to their success. The birthplace of tech. Silicon Valley's origins can be traced back to 367 Addison Avenue, Palo Alto, where the first audio oscillator was invented. Fred Terman fostered the growth of science for practical purposes, establishing the Stanford Industrial Park and the Stanford Research Institute. Government funding during the Cold War spurred the growth of the valley, providing opportunities for tech visionaries like Steve Jobs and Robert Noyce to leave their mark.
In exploring the world's most creative places, the Geography of Genius offers valuable takeaways on the conditions and environments that have historically fostered genius clusters, from ancient Athens to Silicon Valley. The key factors include a combination of chaos and order, openness to influences from other cultures, and a culture that values and supports creative pursuits, leading to an increased number of groundbreaking achievements and innovations. Furthermore, the geniuses themselves often experience marginalization or outsider status, which may drive their creativity. By studying these environments, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the significance of location, cultural influences, and the necessary conditions for genius to thrive, possibly finding ways to foster creativity in their own surroundings.